By now, we all know we don't talk about Bruno. Maybe we talk about Dolores, though, and today we talk to Dolores. Hey, it's Waters on Air here in the Hot 100 Live, Instagram Live Lounge. And in a moment, we'll be joined by Adassa, who is the singer who makes an appearance as Dolores in the blockbuster film Encanto. Well, hello there.
Hi.
How are you today?
I am wonderful. It's a beautiful day, a little cloudy, which is lovely here in Nashville. How about you? How are you, Virginia?
Pretty good. You know, I wish that I could say there's not a cloud in the sky, but unfortunately it's actually a terrible day out here. So.
Oh, no. So there are many clouds in the sky.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, for everybody who's checking in, this below me here is Adassa, and she is the voice of Dolores from Encanto. So I gotta say, since middle school, that's the most Spanish I've spoken in a long time.
Excellent. Excelente. Muy bien. Go.
I tried. Now, I guess you're part of this cultural moment, being involved in this film, in this song. It is #1 on the Billboard song charts. The entire soundtrack is #1 on the Billboard album charts. I don't think there's such a thing as streaming movie charts, but if there were, let's be real for a second, Encanto would be #1 on that too, wouldn't it?
I think so. And I think we reached like 1.4 billion streams. We were #1 on how much it was being streamed. And it's incredible. I think so many people feel drawn to it because they feel represented. They feel seen. They feel heard. They're gravitating towards the music and the beauty of it, but also the story, because it's not just a magical story in a magical land. The fact that it takes influence from Colombia and then yet it resonates with so many of our homes and situations, I think that's what just glues us all together to this film.
Right. And you see a lot of yourself in the character that you get to voice, Dolores. Tell me, obviously you don't have magical powers to hear even the slightest eye twitch or pin drop. What do you see about yourself in this character, though?
Well, though my kids seem to think so, because I can tell if they've brushed their teeth or not, because I'm like, I did not hear that water running, but smell my breath. I'm like, yeah, you just put the toothpaste in your mouth. Not true. But you know what? There's so many things. She's a very compassionate person. And really, think about that. If you had the power to know absolutely anything from anyone, you would have the upper hand on so much. You could be very bad if you wanted to, but she doesn't use it towards the evil. She keeps everybody's secrets unless it has to do with the family and the well-being of the magic, which is when she's like, and pop.
Right. Now, everybody in the family has some special ability. That's kind of one of the central tenets of the film, just in case anybody hasn't seen it yet. You obviously have the special hearing ability in your character, but I am curious, putting Dolores aside for a second, if you could choose from any of the powers exhibited by anybody in the family to actually have in real life, what would you want, or would you want any?
I think it would be really interesting to have Camilo's power, you know, just to be able to switch it up sometimes and feel what it would be to be in this person's shoes, because then you would become a lot more knowledgeable on how to deal with people and a lot more caring, and that depth would really resonate. And that's if I had to choose another power, because I absolutely love Dolores' power. But yeah, if I had to, it would be Camilo's. I think I could live many lives, just like with children. You know, I have 7 kids, and I feel like I live a life with each one of them. Like decisions I would never make. And one of them, it's like, really? That thing? And I get to live that experience vicariously. So I feel like that would be a really cool one to have.
Okay. You know, you've talked now twice, I guess, about how you kind of have sort of this connection to the family matters of the film through your experience as a mother. And I find that to be really interesting as well, because like you said, this is not a movie that exists in a fairy tale land. This is a movie that draws very, very similarly from the world that you and I grow up in, and the world that we live in, and the world that we're hopefully making for our children. Tell me about this representation, because everybody talks about how important it is that Encanto is portraying people who you don't always see on the silver screen. Tell me, does that representation make a difference to you? Does it make a difference to your kids? Who does that affect?
I think it affects everyone, because when you see that something is possible, then it becomes real and tangible. Like the first person who ever ran the best time of a mile, nobody ever had done that. That's why a record is broken, when somebody does something that seems impossible. So when kids don't find themselves represented, or adults don't see themselves, then they don't feel that that's an achievable goal. I can never be a principal in a film because I've never seen one. I can never be an actor. I can never be this because I've never seen that happen. And what Disney is doing is showing you, yes, it can. You are here. And look at the way that everybody in the world is reacting. That means that you are wanted, you are loved, you are appreciated. There is a mic for you. And now with technology, you have Instagram, you have TikTok, which honestly, that's what's really blown up so much with We Don't Talk About Bruno, people doing cosplays and dances and everything. It's because people are feeling seen, they're feeling represented, they gravitate towards one or another character. And yes, it's been important, because when I was growing up, that wasn't possible. You really didn't see a person of color who was a principal character. Like you would see them in the background dancing, or in the kitchen, or a nanny, or serving, but never as in I'm the doña, or like I'm the woman of the house. That never really happened. And with this film, it shows you, yes, we are all equals. We all have a place, and we're all different. Like in this family, you have us in different shades and colors, and yet we're just as Colombian as the next person. I'm just as Colombian as Stephanie Beatriz and Wilmer, and everybody. So it really draws to the fact that we all feel seen and heard now.
It shows not only that it's possible to be whatever you want, to be on the screen, to be, the head of the family in a real powerful way, but it also shows it's normal too. And it's really interesting to watch how everybody has adopted this, really with no questions asked. 40 years ago, I don't think this film would have been embraced the way that it is. And it speaks to the progress that we've all made, and it speaks to the world that we're now able to live in. And it's really amazing, because, I keep going back to this term, cultural moment. How does it feel to know that you're involved with the good thing that everyone's talking about lately? There's plenty of bad things, but this is the good thing. How does that feel?
Wow, the way you put it, this is the good thing that is happening at this moment. I feel so honored, blessed. I'm humbled to be able to be a part of this, because as an Afro-Latina, there's so many amazing, talented Colombians that could have been part of this. And I'm forever grateful to Jamie Sparrow Roberts for casting me in this role, and to be a part forever of this franchise of Encanto, because I really feel there's so much more to go, And I feel that this is so important for people to finally feel that there's an evolution. And it's happened with Lin Manuel. He started it with Hamilton and In the Heights, and now with the music that sways your heart, and also shows you we can all have a place. We can all imagine anything we want and make it come true if we're just good at what we do and fulfill whatever place in our hearts that we need to fulfill. Like if you do this, then it will become breathing. And it doesn't matter if it took me 20 years or it took my daughter, she's 9 and she's casted in this film. And so to say, wow, this is the progress we're living in. This is an exciting time in life. So yes, I'm so glad to be part of the good that is happening right now.
And you mentioned Lin Manuel Miranda, who is somebody that we've kind of culturally kept up with for a long time now, ever since Hamilton really took the world by storm. So this isn't his first moment, but I was curious about this one because it's happening during COVID times. So I didn't really see a lot about the behind the scenes of Encanto. Maybe this is a boring or small question, but did you get the chance to actually work in person with that crew, or was it all over Zoom and phone calls and etc.?
There are no boring questions. Let's start with that. This was a great one. Actually, I did not have the opportunity to go to Los Angeles because of the COVID restrictions. So we recorded right here in my studio in Nashville. My husband and I have 2 studios in the home. So he has a big one, and then I have the voiceover booth. So it was, I wish I would have had the experience, but at the same time, I also embrace the reality that we're living in right now and understand that that limitation happens for so many people that they've had to work, you know, at a distance. And it was so great to have the directors, Jared Bush, Byron Howard, Charisse Castro-Smith, one of the first co-directors ever, you know, and being a woman, and Yvette Merino, also another powerful woman who is a co-producer in this film, and seeing them through Zoom and being directed by them and having that personal one-on-one moment. But I did feel like, how is this going to come together? Because we were all recording separately. We never saw each other in the booth. The first time we actually saw each other in person was at the premiere in Los Angeles. So that's the carpet event. We were like, oh my goodness, you're a real person. You know, it was so beautiful. And we embraced, and it was like, you've been on this journey with this family, and now you're like, I get to take a family photo with these people and enjoy this moment with a live audience and see their reactions to something we've put our heart and soul, and so many hundreds of people were putting blood, sweat, and tears and love into for so many years. 5 years in the making, imagine.
Agreed. It's a long time coming. Now, there's one thing that this whole time we haven't talked about. You want to take a guess?
We don't talk about Bruno.
We have not talked about Bruno, and I don't claim to be like Bruno at all, but I predict nothing but success as time goes on, not just for the Encanto universe, but also for you, Adassa, and I appreciate your time here today a lot.
Thank you so much. Honestly, being in the booth and being directed by Lin Manuel, I took a leap, like when I was like, you know, I don't think she would sing it up high. I think she would be like, go to live in fear, Bruno stuttering or stumbling. I can always hear him sort of muttering and mumbling. I associate him with the sound of falling sand. And he was like, that's it. And I was like, woo, that's what you see on my TikTok. So I'm so forever grateful to have the opportunity to be part of We Don't Talk About Bruno and this amazing phenomenon that it's become. I mean, 4 weeks at #1 in the Hot 100, 6 times on the 200s. Every record has been broken by Encanto here.
I really want to thank you again for your time, because it has been a joy getting to know you, even though it's been a short while together. I appreciate seeing you on the screen and hearing your voice, and that's a song that we're playing now on the station, Hot 100 in Virginia Beach. So, like I was saying,
I'm going to be in Virginia Beach, actually, for a Comic-Con. So, yes, coming up very soon.
Which one? Is it Hampton Comic-Con or Tidewater? Or
Tidewater.
You know?
Tidewater.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to be in Tidewater.
When you're in town, have your people hit my people.
I will call you. Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Adassa, one of the many, many stars of Encanto, now streaming and now taking over the world. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye.
Bye.